I won't name the shop, but I went into a shop to buy a DVD. I went upstairs, I was looking in the DVD section, and there was a Down syndrome girl there, and she's with a carer, and she said, and before I'd never do any of this, so this is like this is where I found myself, and she wanted this box set series, and I heard the guy mention, when we get back to your care home, I'll mention it to him maybe for your birthday and everything. And I was sitting there and I probably had about 60, 70 pound in my pocket, and I didn't even want to buy a DVD for myself. I thought, do you know what, like, she was excited, she was clapping her hands and everything, she's, you know, like, so everything went out of me that mattered what I wanted to get. And I said to the carer outside, because she was in the queue getting something else for him or something like that, and I said to him, you know the girl that you're with? And he said, oh no, don't worry, she's autistic or Down syndrome. I said, no, I realised that. That wasn't what I was asking. I'd like to buy that box set that she wants. And he couldn't believe it. He said, oh my God, somebody like said that someone will come along and do something. And so he told her what I wanted to do, and then she led me upstairs by her hand, and I gave her the money. She got the box set, and she cuddled me. Everybody in the place was looking at me as I walked out, and I walked around the corner and cried my eyes out. But I realised that when you do things like that, that was the biggest feeling. Forget anything I've been through, that was the best feeling I had, because I'm emotionless. Like I said, I'm too strong inside, but things like that means more than doing people for the everyday people you do everything for in your life. And all these people that like judge everyone and everything, but imagine that everyone in the world done little things like that. Just little things. And I come from arrogancy, everything before I got to this stage. And that's what you can do, and that's the most beautiful feeling in the world. So that's how I feel about things now.
I have 3 children. Terry's number 1, he's the oldest. He come with me to football because I used to coach football and things, and he enjoyed that. He plays football now. He still plays football because he's been around it all his life, because as I say, I was a football coach and different things. Terry is his own man, so he'll only discuss what he wants to discuss, but if he makes up his mind that's what he's going to do, he will do it without any discussions. Yeah, I've heard he's doing a Tough Mudder, and that's what Terry's good at. But with Terry, he will, if he takes that on, he will complete it, and he'll do his very best by it.
We're doing Tough Mudder. The feeling or the achievement aspect of it is undeniable. So when we were speaking about setting up a charity and doing some fundraising events, me straight away, let's do Tough Mudder, yeah? And then you start thinking, oh, then why did I suggest that? Because it was actually very tough. But he goes, yeah, I'm up for that. Because of what he's been through and the recovery, this is another part of the recovery, because it actually shows, when people understand Terry's story, and it kind of, it's inspirational that he's now in doing this Tough Mudder event. And if people really research what Tough Mudder is, a lot of people who haven't even been through a tenth of the stuff, they don't want to do it because it's tough. It's like 22 kilometers up and down hills. There's a lot of high, steep gradients. You've got like 25 SAS type obstacles to get through. It's a very tough event, but he's tough.
We're going to do great. We're going to do great. We're going to put everyone through, so it doesn't matter. Whoever's running the slowest, we're all going to be running at their pace. Everyone's going to make it through, guaranteed. You
know, when people start hearing, oh yeah, you get electrocuted, they're like, oh, you've got to jump off high things. Oh yeah, you've got like freezing water you've got to go through, and people don't want to do it. But Terry's doing it, and I'm glad he's doing it, you know, because I know he can do it.
Yeah, Tough Mudder, I'm sure he's going to complete it. I wish I could do it, but
yeah, he's tried to rope us all in, but I said to him, I won't get electrocuted and all that. I won't even make it off the start line.
You lot saw earlier on, but 5 minutes in, I had to sit down, have a little break and that. But then I was back in, but I'll do it still, we'll see what's going on.
It's a team event, you know? It's like a brotherhood thing, it's like a collective. So if you run with a team, your team only gets through it if you all get through it. And I mean, like, there's some things that he'll need support on, there's some things I'll need support on, or other members of the team will need support on. So doing it as a collective, it's beautiful, we'll all do it. It'll be well.
Well, I wanted to get one goal on camera at least, so that was a bit of a fluke, that one. There's too many players tonight, so it's hard to get the ball. It's too much of a small pitch. But I was happy with that. As long as you guys got that.
He used to be quite naughty at school. I used to have to go up to school a lot, you know, stuff like that. I can't remember everything, but I was always getting called up to school for something. I think at one stage they did say that I don't know if he went with matches or something. Or he tried to, well, they thought he might try and burn the school down. And there was another occasion where he had a gun, but it was a toy one, and they thought it was a real one. So he was a little bit naughty when he was younger.
And I always remember him when he got to about 1 or 2 years old. He just had this big mop of blonde curly hair. When he was 12, you know, like people change, children change. He was always quite happy. He did. He went for a phase when he was about 10 or 11. And my dad, his granddad, come out one day and he said, "Where's Terry? I haven't seen him for a little while." And Terry come out in all this ninja outfit and started chopping and doing somersaults. He had quite, he believed in what he was doing, you know, at the time.
I used to love training. I used to love boxing, watching all the big fights and stuff. Well, from a young age, I had quite a good relationship with my parents, but my parents split up when I was young, when I was about 8 or 9, so they went their separate ways. And then there was a new stepdad on the scene. My dad had a new girlfriend, so the family was sort of broken home in the end. I think it affected me. That's when I really became naughty, I think, is when, from the split of my parents. But then I always had a good backbone, my nan and granddad, so they were like my biggest inspiration, my biggest fans.
Norfolk moulded me as a man. Norfolk taught me everything on the roads, the road things, everything we done. Everything we done here brought me to where I am, or what I made myself. I was always a go-getter because of being grown up here. It's taught me everything about A to Z of life here. I love Norfolk. I'm Norfolk for life. I've never changed that.
Yeah, I spent all my teenage years here as well, so even though I moved off this estate to the Lancaster Road, the Wireless estate up the road, yeah, we used to do everything here.
I've known Tel probably 18, going on, 18, 20, about 20 years.
The first time that me and Terry met, I mean, yeah, about 20 years ago, but it's not anything that's going to be like over-defined because where we're from, we kind of always know each other.
Yeah, a bit of full of himself, a bit of a Jack the lad. But yeah, no, it's all good stuff, and yeah, we sort of became mates from the first time we met, really.
Norfolk boy, lively. You know, we've all got that kind of, you know, little bit of swag. You know what I mean? Bit lively. Do I remember anything we got up to in Norfolk? Quite a lot happens in Norfolk.
There's no money, nobody had no money when we was all growing up. Everyone was struggling. It's all everyone having to hustle to make money and stuff.
I think ultimately we come from council estates. So at that time and space, a lot of our motivations were like, you know, ducking and diving.
Loads of crazy things, police chases, mopeds down in all the alleys, because the whole estate's got alleys. I lived at number 9, which is this house over here, till I was 4 years old. They were, my younger days. I remember being in the garden of it, because we had little shoebox gardens. That's all we had, there was no big gardens on this estate. In my mind, still looks the same, what I remember. Well, parents got another council estate house on the Wireless Estate, Lancaster Road. The Wood End Estate and Lancaster Road taught me how to earn money, how to hustle and how to survive in life, really.
He's always sort of been a bit of an entrepreneur. He's the type of person that can turn his hand to anything. You could watch someone build a brick wall, and the day after he'd go out and build it exactly the same.
Like Haley said about the pocket money, I remember going up into loft one day and everything had gone. He'd sold everything. He'd had a sale at the top of the road, so that was quite funny.
He used to steal our pocket money, mine and my twin sisters, and make us buy all the toys he wanted and then sell them. And that was from a young age. That must be part of his entrepreneurial skills.
When I was working for my friend, learnt how to do export packing for people moving abroad, and then thought, I can do this. And that's when I very first started. I got my own contract.
Terry, as a teenager, he was kind of like, as his nickname is, he was kind of like a Del boy. He was always like doing things and kind of like earning money, wheeling and dealing and stuff, and does that kind of thing.
And then before we knew it, we was turning over a lot of money every year. We were driving Ferraris, we had speedboats, and that's when we thought we really made it. They were good days, but we took it all for granted, because for young street kids from Wood End Estate, we were just delivering stuff. It was easy.
Funny times is probably when we used to do removals, and we used to travel the country, stay in different places, and just like weird things would happen, and like obviously girls and things like that. But yeah,
our life was good then. Life was good. We was driving through Norfolk in a Ferrari. I'd done 30 grand's worth of damage to it on the undercarriage just because going over the speed bumps, because we had no sense of nothing. So we never ever left the manor. We always stayed in Norfolk, and we was just really just rolling around Norfolk with all these expensive things.
After like Pallitways ended, there was kind of like we had like a bunch of money, so we kind of like got the pub, and then it was probably too early for us. We were probably still quite juvenile, and like we was quite naive really. And we just like went into a business that we didn't really know nothing about, but we had fun though, and probably spent too much money, probably lost too much money as well. But
because all my friends worked with me, so we had about 22 of my friends working in my company. So we had forklift drivers, we had to load our own lorries, delivery drivers, van boys. We had the whole of Norfolk work, well, everyone that meant anything to us working with us.
At that time of life in Norfolk, a lot of people were coming up, you know, and yeah, we're always aware of what everyone does. It's that kind of environment.
Yeah, my motivation was taken from friends, and there's Norfolk as a whole really, not just Lancaster or the Wood End Estate, because the White Hart, I've got good friends there as well. So everybody really in Norfolk helped me get and inspired me to get back to my feet and where I am today now. From the Wood End Estate, I moved to here, 149 Lancaster Road. This was my mum's house, the family house. And I ended up buying this house in the end, and then selling this house to move to Devon. And I was intending to go to Devon for a better life, for a peaceful life. Just for, I knew be by the sea and jet ski and stuff, just because I had a little experience of that when I was in Rye, Sussex, by the sea. So it was all nice, so I wanted that life.
What happened was I sold my ex-house to Terry, and he finished doing it up, and I bought a bungalow down in Devon, so that's how I ended up down there. Then he eventually sold the house in Norfolk, and he came down there as well. So he bought a townhouse in Paignton, just up the road. But he didn't really sort of like say anything, oh, you know, I fancy coming. He just decided to up and come.
He's moved to Devon. I think he just wanted to... He'd lived near the sea before when he was younger, and I think he would just wanted to go back there. And his mum was living there at the time as well.
Terry's a fast-thinking, fast-moving, fast-forward person. So, you know, he knew what he was doing, you know.
Just before he moved, we was doing a bit of work with each other. But yeah, I knew he was going down there to live.
Well, at the time when he was actually moving, we kind of like, we wasn't in each other's space as much, you know. We was like doing our own kind of thing and that. And no, I just thought like, good luck.
Our life in Devon when we got there was brilliant, because we got there just at the end of the summer, and I just used to go every day. I bought a jet ski, brand new fresh jet ski. I used to go down every day and just jet ski every morning on the sea for the whole back end of the summer. And I was just taking it easy for a little while because I had savings, I had profit from the house, so I wasn't in a rush to do anything. So I was just taking a bit of time out.
And I've always been quite close with Terry, so like with his dad as that as well. So it was nice that I wasn't down there on my own. But then as Terry moved down there, then my brother decided to come as well.
My Uncle Vince, we used to go sea fishing down there together. He come out jet skiing with me a couple of times. We was in talks of doing our own business, landscaping business. Yeah, we used to spend a lot of time. We used to play on the computer at my house, online and stuff. He'd be at his house, we'd play online. We used to get on really well. We had a brilliant relationship.
What happened was I hadn't actually spoke to him for years when I was in Norfolk before I sold up. But because my mum was quite ill, I had to involve him in financial affairs and power of attorney and everything like that. So we then, although we hadn't spoken for years, I had to sort of like befriend him again. And that's how really we got friendly. I moved to Devon, Terry moved to Devon, and he sold up his house in Hyland and he moved to Devon as well, just round the corner. So it was all within quite a close proximity.
Yeah, me and Vince was close for years and years, from when I was a kid. Because even when I was a kid and I was being thrown from pillar to post, he would always like take me and my cousin Bradley, and we'd always spend time together at his flat. So I spent a lot of time with Vince.
But I think he was always a little bit, I think he suffered with a little bit of depression, to be honest, over the years.
When we used to go sea fishing, he would pull a book out of his top pocket and have car registrations on it. And he'd say, people follow me from London and that. And I used to say to him, well, I don't think that's right, you know, like, but I just used to put it as down to a bit of paranoia. Didn't really think much about it. So there was a few little things, probably stuff that I can't even remember, little bits and pieces that I didn't even take seriously.
Do I know what triggered his depression? I don't know. I can't say really. Not 100% sure, but I think as life went on for him, it became more and more harder for him to deal with things.
Jay, we got the email, mate.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm in, mate. Signed up for the 30th. It's all good, mate. It's all good.
Yeah, well, do you know what it is, bruv? Well done, son.
Yeah, we'll do it, mate. We'll get it done.
It's not gonna be easy, you know, bruv, but you know what it is, I'm not being funny. Tough mother, but you're tough Terry, all right?
Cool, mate. Nothing phases me. We'll do it.
Well done, son, mate.
See you in a minute, bruv.
Hopefully people get inspired by it. Yeah, that's the message. So it's all good. I want people laying in their hospital beds to think this ain't it. You can inspire yourself to do whatever you want to do. It's all in your mind. So that's a great thing. Great thing.
Mate, it's tough. It's really tough. I know we'll do it. You know, like we say, it's a team event. But yeah, it's going to test him. You know what I mean? It's really going to test him. It's going to test all of us. You know, obviously I've done it before. Finisher, yeah? But I'm not looking forward to it again. But it's nothing you can really look forward to. But yeah, it'll be good.
happened was I was coming back and I thought it's sort of like really crazy, you know, like I got to the traffic lights and Terry's was just like 5 minutes that way to the left, and to the right back home it took me about 10 minutes. And I thought, shall I go to Terry's? But no, they've gone to Totnes to look at a van. So that will always be in my mind forever, because I could have gone there and I think I could have either maybe stopped it or I would have turned up at the time it was all happening. So I might have been able to talk to my brother. That's one thing I've got to live with. I can't change what's happened.
She dropped me off, I believe, at his house because I was living there. And we were sat there, had a cup of tea, and then his uncle come in. A little bit irate, but you know, I didn't think nothing of it. And then I left because I had to go to work. I just started a job.
On that day, on the 14th of October, he came in, and me, my dad, Tasha was there. She was cooking Sunday roast. I was sitting at a table reading an Auto Trader because I was going to buy a van for this business that we're doing. So my dad was there, so he came in and he was ranting and raving, saying that people were going through his paperwork at his house and all sorts of madness going through his head, and something we had on the side, a letter on the side from Essex, and his ex is from Essex and thinks that we're talking with his ex and telling her his business and stuff like that. So from all the madness that nothing ever made sense what he was talking about before, he sort of calmed down a bit. My dad went to work, I think Tasha went and walked the dog, and then she came back afterwards, and just me and him then, and he was pretty cool then, and I made him a cup of tea. We were sitting there talking about the van I was going to go and buy. And then when Tasha came back in with the dog, and then she sat down, she was in the kitchen, he said to me, I'm going to go now. So I thought, all right, we've been through the madness stage, and like maybe he's just having a bit of depression or something. He said to me, I've got last week's Auto Trader in the car. Do you want me to get it? And I said, why do I need last week's? I've got this week's. So I'm going to go and look at this van today down at Trago Mills. And he said, no, I've got last week's. It's got more vans in it that's not in this week's. So I thought, all right, allow it. Go and do what you're doing. So he went out, shut the kitchen door as he went out, walked out to the car, and obviously he said, I shut the door because of the dog. So he said, all right, cool, because the dog used to run off. Next thing, it's just madness. He come through the door and he had a petrol can with no lid on it and a lighter, a yellow clipper. And he was standing there saying, I want like, well, he was swearing, saying, I want fucking answers.
I want fucking answers.
I was just looking in amazement. I was still sitting at my dining table with my Auto Trader open. He's come in with no Auto Trader, but a petrol can and a lighter. And he's standing there and he's saying he wants answers, otherwise everybody's going to die today and everything else. And then he starts pouring petrol on his own head. And then it was splashing on the table and he was ranting and raving, and he just didn't look himself anymore. His eyes were like grey, you know, like he was possessed by the devil or something. And then I think I said something to him. I said, what are you doing? And he said, I want answers. If I don't get answers, you're all going to die today. That's all he kept saying. And then he splashed petrol towards me, and it sort of splashed on the table and then hit me, and I had a hoodie on. And then Tasha went to go out the garage internal door, and he said, where do you think you're going? Where the fuck do you think you're going?
You've got something to do.
And then I said to him, what are you doing? Don't talk to her like that. And then he went for her, and then that was it. I jumped up out of my seat. That was my opportunity when he took my eyes off me. Then we grabbed each other and we was wrestling. And by this time, the petrol can's falling on the floor, spinning. And we're sort of grappling. And I said to her, like, fucking run. I see her just going out the door, and the next thing we both slipped on the petrol. So we slipped forward, and I slipped forward onto him. And so we're sort of wrestling, practically wrestling and fighting in the fire, but all the time he's trying to light this lighter. I can see it sparking. So as I'm trying to get back up, but like I said, the petrol's on the floor, so it's like an ice rink. So I'm trying to get back up and pull him up. He split. The lighter's managed to spark because where it was wet, it weren't sparking properly. You could just hear it, and I just see the spark, and next thing, bang! It's like a bomb. Like someone had dropped a nuclear bomb in the kitchen, and I couldn't see nothing but through all this intense flames. But all I could see was this ray of light through my dining room window. And bearing in mind, I couldn't see nothing through flames. It was like hurting, burning, and I could just see this ray of light coming because I had a balcony. And it was just amazing. This ray of light was coming between us. So I run for the light, but as I run, I still had hold of him. So I tried to pull him with me. But at the same time, he was resisting, or there was things in the way, I don't know, but it was so intense that I just jumped the balcony, and as I jumped, I just dived over it. I remember hitting the decking, because it was from the first floor of the house, and just rolling forward, but my hoodie was on fire. I could still feel these flames. So I pulled everything off, and I was down to, because I had Adidas shell suit bottoms on, I just had, as I looked, my top was still burning on the side, but I pulled it off, so I had nothing on top. All I had left was my waistband, my boxer shorts, my trainers, and my socks. But even my trainers were like hot burnt. So then from then, I could hear moans and groans out of the house. So, and then I was thinking about Tasha, where's she? So I run back through my downstairs patio doors up, but the kitchen, I see the kitchen door was still shut, and I could hear the intensity of the fire and him screaming in there, really. I run out the front door because there's no way I'm going back in the fire. I come out the front door and I see the garage door open, so I knew she'd got out. So I went into the neighbour's house, next door, Karen's, and they was all just running around calling the police. Tash said to me, what the fuck did he just do and everything? And I said, listen, I just need the toilet. And I was in her toilet, splashing water on my face. And I didn't feel that bad then. It's just like I had no hair left. It was like a skinhead, and I always had hair with highlights and stuff. I was quite particular about that. And so I splashed all the water in my face, and I felt all right. And then when we went outside, we all had to come outside, because I had to tell Karen, because she had little kids, let's go out, because you could hear the fire from her house, like the intensity of it, and all the smoke coming out the back window. So we went out the front, then we sat at the front, like on opposite my house on the curb, and I was just sitting there, and I was thinking, did he get out? Like, everyone's trying to see. I told the neighbour, turn the gas off, because we had the gas on. I thought it's going to blow, because we still got the chicken in the oven, or whatever meat we had in the oven at the time. So the neighbour ran and turned the gas off from outside, the mains. But we could just see smoke, and the whole neighbourhood was out, everyone was everywhere. One of the nurses, I think was a local old lady there, she put wet towels over me and that. But when I was sitting there then, I didn't feel so clever then, and all the skin was like dripping off my fingers. Like, it was like a scene out of RoboCop, and off my ears and that, I could just feel skin, and it was all like, it continued to burn. So I was sitting there, even though like I was out of it, it was still continuing to burn. Then I just hear neighbours like all running, the whole neighbourhood was out, and I think we was there for about 10 minutes, or about 10-15 minutes till the ambulance come. And I just remember the ambulance people coming straight over, taking me into the ambulance, and then when they got me in the ambulance, straight away laid me on the bed, and they knocked up a big injection and just injected me, because at that point I didn't think I was going to make it, because I could start seeing the light myself.
My phone went, and it was Tasha, Terry's girlfriend that he was in with. Very irate, and said, oh, we set the house on fire, you know, blah, blah, blah. Terry, don't know what's going on. So that was the first I heard of it. Well, my first thought is because I was round the corner from his mum, so obviously the most important thing was to let her be informed and, you know, take her with me to go up there.
Just as I got to my doorstep, Paul come running up and said that Vincent had set Terry on fire and we had to go quickly. So I hadn't even got over the threshold, and I just quickly ran out, jumped in the car, not thinking, or even, you know, thinking, oh, maybe it's something silly, his hair's singed or something, or not thinking the worst, or thinking the worst, and I didn't know till we got there.
But the initial thought, very scared. Didn't ever think it could happen to my son because he's such a friendly person. I knew Vincent very well as well, and I didn't think he would be capable of doing what he did, you know. And that was the initial thought when I first got that phone call. Is he alive? I didn't know anything. So as a parent, you know, you fear the worst, I suppose.
When we drive from Brixham up to Paignton, you go up a hill and to Terry's townhouse. And as we came to drive up the hill before you turn right onto his estate, you could see smoke billowing over. So we just knew the smell because it was summer.
You could see the smoke because he was like on the estate. You could see the smoke, and as we got closer, there was a horrendous burning smell.
It was just the smoke, and then you knew that it was going to be something horrible. That's something that I'll live with for the rest of my life.
Then we pulled into the estate, and by the time we got there, the police had sort of called and, you know, with the things. And it was just sheer panic because as a parent, it's your worst nightmare, to be honest.
What happened from the call?
Could you pause for a minute?
Of course we can.
You just thought at the time it wasn't going to be as bad as it was, but you could see it was going to be bad because the smoke, you could see it from quite a way off.
So what happened from there is me and his mum pulled up. You know, we couldn't go through the cordons, and obviously his mum was panicking.
It was just bedlam. That's the only thing I can remember. There was police cars everywhere, there was neighbours out, people running around, ambulance, fire engines, I think even, you know, like the big vans, maybe when someone's dead, I can't remember. You know, it was just bedlam. And I just didn't know, I just lost it. I just started running up and down the road. And in the end, I got bundled in a police car. And I did know someone was dead, but I didn't know who it was at that time.
Someone said, he was sitting on the neighbour's doorstep and they doused him down and, you know, they'd done a few bits and pieces. And he was he'd gone off to the hospital. So, although in all that sort of anguish and, you know, there was a little bit of respite because I knew he was still alive. Because as I say, when it first happened, you have the worst fear that he's been killed, he's dead. It was very sad because we found out that Vincent had died.
I remember getting to Torquay Hospital and coming in the hospital on the bed, and when I was in there was just madness, all nurses running around, everything, putting a big clear tent thing over my bed. And then I remember my dad, but I couldn't really see anything then, so I don't know why I couldn't see, but my dad was at the side of me, and I was telling him to tell my kids I love them and all that, because at that point I thought I'm not going to make it, because my body was just out of control, shaking and convulsing on the bed, and I thought this is it.
He was talking to me, and the one question he asked me, which it's quite heartbreaking really, but he said to me, "Dad, I'm not going to die, am I?" And I don't know, but of course I'm not going to. So I said to him, "Of course you're not going to die, son. You know, you're stronger than that." You sort of perk him up a bit, and he was talking. As I said, I couldn't see him all because he was in this tent. And it's more scary the people running around, you know, like panicking, and that was the scary part.
So we was having Sunday dinner actually, and we got a phone call from my dad saying that Terry's had an accident, but he was obviously very confused. He wasn't making any sense. So we didn't know if it was a car accident or... Then he said someone's dead, and we just couldn't make head nor tail. And then the phone sort of cut off, and then we're calling back, no answer. And then I think my dad called back again and said that it's very bad. He's being moved to Bristol.
Yeah, his sister rang me, and I was like, what? You know, yeah, big shock. Especially when you get that kind of news, your mind just creates really bad scenarios. But then the reality is, your mind could not have created how bad it actually was.
I think it was about 3 or 4 of us met up and we flew straight down there as soon as we found out what had gone on.
I arranged to go down there straight away. You know, I called her back, told me where he was, so I just went straight down there.
I just remember his hands being like wrapped in like plastic bags, and he didn't look the same. He looked kind of like puffed out.
When we was on our way down there, I didn't know what to expect, because I didn't know what I was going to walk into, you know.
He was unrecognisable. His hands were in bags, his face was like out here, his lips. He just had, his skin was just melting, like just dripping.
When we got to the hospital, we met his family, walked into the ward. We didn't recognise him when we walked in there because he was so badly burnt, and his head had swelled up, you know, 2 or 3 times its normal size. So we just walked straight past him when we got in there. We didn't recognise him.
When I got there, and when I got led into the hospital to Terry's room, I was like in shock. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was almost like, it was quite surreal, you know. And he's on this machine, he's on the bed, You've got all the bleeps and blips going off, and he wasn't conscious, and he was like bandaged from head to foot.
How did I feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, shock, yeah.
Life after that was very... It's just, I think you sit there and you sort of say, could this really happen to my son? Could this really happen to me, as his mum, you know, as parents? Does this happen every day to people? And the initial shock is horrendous.
You go through so much mentally, and you know, your mind is just, and then you know the ups and downs of every day. Is he going to make it? Is he not going to make it? Learning what the machines do, you know, trying to read them yourself, if they're good, if they're bad.
We had a lot of ups and downs after that. One day you get a bit of ray of hope, you know, he don't look too bad today, and then he went downhill. He got this MRSA and different things.
It was like going through hell, really, I suppose, in a way, and no one would believe you. You know, like sometimes even when I not so much now, but when I used to tell the story to people, I think, well, they probably think I'm making it up, you know, because no one would believe everything that we went through from the beginning.
It was just a total nightmare, to be honest with you, because from day to day things changed. And we had a phone in the little room we stayed in, and we used to dread that phone going off.
We had the first call, you know, they said they couldn't do anything else for him, and, you know, called the priest in. And I mean, I can't, some of it's a blank, but I know I was in there at that stage. I used to find it hard to go in the room. I couldn't deal with it.
We got a call, and I think it was about 6 a.m, telling us to go down. And his mum was so distraught at that stage, she said, I can't go, you go. So me and Hayley went into the doctor, and I think the doctor said to us, I believe, we've done everything we can now, which, how do you take that?
We got the hump, didn't we, with the priest?
I kicked the priest out, so I'm probably cursed forever. Trying to send him to better places. I said, wait, do one, mate.
Well, he was already, he seemed like he was praying for him, but he hadn't actually passed.
I didn't really feel any pain when I woke up, but then when I was sitting there and I realised I couldn't do anything, and I've been there for like weeks in a coma, so like I thought I'd missed Christmas, because at the end of my bed was all these cards to me and everything, and there was all Christmas decorations. I said, no, it's coming up to Christmas. So then I realised how long I was unconscious for. Then that's when really the battle started then, because every day then I was doing physio, because I couldn't move because I was laid up for so long. I think I was laid up in a coma for three or 4 weeks. After the drug-induced coma, I was still laid up for a further 2 weeks, so I went down to about 6 stone. And where I'd been laying so long in one position and everything, nothing worked. So it was an effort to move my arms, and I didn't realise I couldn't walk at that point until the day they come and try to do physio on me. When they woke me up, and they were saying to me like we had to read your last rites twice and everything, or once my last rites, and once when they held a prayer day or something like that. So basically twice really got crossed over. Only probably in the last year or so I sort of get used to it. So it took about 6-7 years. Looking in the mirrors before that, yeah, I was vain. I used to take hours to get ready. I used to love doing my hair. Like, I was a proper pretty boy. I used to love everything about it. All my confidence, my looks, everything was important to me. Dressing smart, everything was very important to me before that. There was a time when they first passed me a mirror. So they said to me, do you want to see what you look like? And I said, yeah, I'd like to see myself. And I remember when they passed me a mirror, and it was a plastic square frame mirror, and I held it, and I see myself. And that was another, and the next battle again, because I thought, oh my God, it was like a monster looked back at me. I couldn't believe it. That's when I really thought I didn't want to live anymore. When I looked in that mirror, I couldn't believe what I see. Well, I got tattoos up my arm because they grafted my arm. So I had tattoos originally, but I didn't have sleeves, I just had writing. Where they skin grafted my arms, I had little bits of tattoos here and there, so it looked awful. I decided I wanted to tattoo every bit of scar anyway to hide it. So that was my main thing behind it. And when I went to the tattoo shop and made my uncle do it, because he reluctantly didn't want to do it, because he said, I really don't want to tattoo your face, because it's going to affect your life. And I said, nothing can affect my life after all I've been through. I don't really care what people think. Every time I went out, people would stare at me because I was for years, I was really disfigured. So I wanted to take people's eye off of it because I didn't want to keep repeating my story and people ask me, wow, what happened to you and everything, because you're invading my space. So then I thought, well, I'll give you something to talk about. And that means something to me about my battles. And I could have had it lasered. People have offered to laser it for me for nothing. Other clinics and that said, look, we'll help you get back on track. You're not helping me. I've been through it. I'll help myself. I've got to where I am here today on my own. So I certainly don't need anybody now, and I don't really care what people think about me. If you want to get to know me, you'll know me. If you don't, you don't matter.
I try and come here as often as I can. 3 or 4 times a month. I like to come here because I feel close to her when I do come here, so I feel like I'm still visiting her and she's not gone anywhere, she's still with me. Clean up the grave sometimes when it gets dirty. I think she'd be proud of me for doing Tough Mudder. And I do it more for her than myself, yeah, because I want to inspire other people and keep her memory alive. Yeah, I'm not very good at flower cutting, to be fair, but I try my best. White's my favourite colour, and pink was her favourite colour, so I try and go with white and pink when I'm choosing them. I always feel that I miss her when I'm here, but she's still with me, so I hold on to every good memory now. We named her Atlanta because it's something me and my other half thought about at the time, and it's just a name that I always wanted to call my little girl, really. It was in my mind for a lot of years before I had a girl.
My ex had to have an emergency cesarean because her intestines grew outside of her stomach. So she was in ICU herself for about 3 months after she was born. So we'd have to go there every day or take turns every other day and let family go there and stuff. So she had a lot of complications from birth. And then finally she came home after 3 months. Then over the years, she always used to get like stomach pains and stuff. But she seemed to be pretty much, you know, the doctors, everything said she was good, everything was all right.
His daughter passed away just before he woke up, I believe.
Obviously, they wanted to wake Terry up. He was still in a coma at this point, so he didn't know anything. They was planning on waking him up out of the coma. Do you tell him? Do you not tell him? This was an issue. You know, obviously as parents, they didn't want to tell him, but I'm saying, you know, you can't not tell somebody that their child has passed away. You can't. It's not your right, really. Obviously, you know, you don't want to set him back, but at the same time, you can't withhold information like that. You haven't got the right.
We're then in a situation where Terry was getting a bit stronger, but could you imagine the setback if we'd... So we didn't really know what to do. We didn't really want to tell him because we didn't want him to, you know, get any weaker because he was just sort of getting stronger. And I think we took medical advice in the end.
When I woke up, I had my sister to my right, my ex-partner to my left. Then they were both crying at the end of the bed. And I said, what's the matter with you guys? I thought it was about me. Because I thought, oh, maybe I'm not going to make this. And they said, no, we've got something to tell you. And I said, well, go on then, what's up? And they said, Alana passed away the other day. And then from then was when my battles really started, because not only I've got to face what I'm doing, I've now got to deal with this devastating news as well that's ripped me apart inside, but nothing I could do about it. I'm here, so all I had to do was try and do whatever I could do now and just grieve every day. So basically I was in my hospital bed just grieving on top of trying to deal with everything that was happening to me.
So I remember her, she was nice, she was a pretty little girl, she was quite bubbly and stuff and quite a happy kid. And yeah, it was a bit of a shock, and I just thought at the time, like what else can happen, you know?
You know, when you're connected with somebody, no matter how you continue your life, it's always present in your head. Like, is he all right? Oh, what, he died again? Oh my gosh. Oh, his daughter's died. Then you start thinking, that's a lot of pain, a lot of tragedy, you know? So, oh my gosh, his daughter's died, and if he makes it through, he's now got to deal with that trauma.
My friends laid on some cars and they said, look, we'll drive you and everything. And I said, no, I want to drive myself. And I was still in quite a bad state. But I was determined to do everything myself that day, so I drove for the first time. And when we got there, I walked. I had my crutches and stuff, but I walked for the first time because I refused not to walk because she gave me the strength to do everything I did that day. So I walked and stood for the whole funeral. Yeah, it was the worst day of my world, worst day of my life. But I had to be there and be strong. She meant the world to me. That was my first daughter, and she meant the absolute world to me, and always will do. And I always said that one day I'll put her name up in lights, and however I do it, it will happen one day.
But I think in a way, that's what gave him the fight to get through it, because they told him that he wouldn't be allowed to go to the funeral. There's no way he could go. And then they said if he did go, he'd have to take oxygen bottles. So he just used to lie there without the mask on till he was gasping for breath, you know. And I think that's what gave him the drive. He came to the funeral in London. He hired a Range Rover, the biggest Range Rover. He drove that himself. You know, they're telling him he's going to have gas balls. No gas, no nothing. He came, he did it, and he left.
think it hit me then when I started grieving, because then I started thinking about Atlanta more, and then thinking about all my battles and what I did go through and where I am now. And then I sort of give up then. I didn't want to do no more. I fought as hard as I could fight now, and there was no more fight left in me. I think I'd just fought for so long and so hard that was when I wanted to call it a day. And I think I had a lot of times like that after that as well. Like that one particular night, my friends and family saved me from it, but I still had the thoughts for a long time. I had no intent of wanting to continue no more. I had no will to fight. I lost my fight for the first time in my life. I used to have good or bad days, so I was recluse for about 2 years, didn't want to do anything or go anywhere. Then seeing a clinical psychiatrist, Lisa Williams, I think really helped a lot, because she helped my mental state, because I was struggling mentally as well as physically. And yeah, I had a lot of dark times, so I'd never really think I had many good days. I had a lot of bad days because I could never accept what happened or who I was now.
I think if it'd been me, I would have probably died on the onset, because I wouldn't be able to do all that fighting and all that pressure. But because it was Terry, that's what he's, you know, that's what he does, that's his makeup.
For the years I come out, I couldn't function properly. So my hands, I couldn't get my grip. I couldn't close my hands because the skin was so tight. I had scarring on my elbow that was affecting this arm. I had like scarring on my legs, and where my legs was laid up for so long, I could never feel, even to this day sometimes I have bad leg days, like it's really strange. My earlobes had melted to my sort of face. So anytime I tried to look anywhere, everything would pull. So I had to get these cut, re-stitched, so my earlobes were off of my face. And then everything else in time was through exercise. I practically built a little gym in my house and trained every day on my own, in my own space with no one about, doing all the things, because they said the sensitivity, nothing would ever work. I'd never box again, I'd never be able to do anything. So I used to punch this punch bag that was the shape of a man, slowly, every day, just training, punching it. My hands used to bleed. They used to rip like paper and bleed. And then eventually, sensitivity stopped with my hands. If you wear pressure garments, you get better movement. So I found if I wear latex gloves, it make my hands sweat, then I get full movement. So when I could get full movement, I'd just keep doing it, and then it'd tighten up again. Then I'd wear the glove for about half an hour, 20 minutes, and it would sweat again, then I could get full movement again. And I'd constantly just every little thing I could do, I'd do, till I got back to all the things the doctor said I'd never be able to do again, open my mouth again. I'd probably not be able to, I was limited to a lot of different things. My neck's never gonna function right. I've defied everything in my own way. Tough Mudder training's going well. It's going really well at the minute. And it's, yeah, it's tough. It's tough training all the time, but we'll get there. Am I feeling the benefits? Yeah, of course, yeah, I'm feeling all the benefits of training.
Terry at the moment, his basic fundamentals are better than most people's, but we've got to get him up to scratch, so there's going to be a lot of hard work, blood, sweat and tears, as they say. So he's in for a bit of a rough ride to start with, but we'll get him there.
I think I'm going in the right direction, yeah. I'll get there and we'll see on the day. There's about 15 of us doing it now, and me, Slim, Kev and Jay have been training hard as well, because that's our little training network.
know Terry's story. Great guy. I take my hat off for him for doing this. Tough mother. You know, most people have never strapped up gloves in their life, and for me, you know, from what he's been through, anything now is possible. Anything. So yeah, I take my hat off to him and I back him all the way. Push off that back foot.
So, what are we going to do today, Terry? Short in size. Yeah. How short? What number? Last time, what we've done last time? 1.5. So we take it straight to the top or blend it in rather. I'm Neish. I'm the owner of this shop. I met Terry about 18 years ago. Yeah, he was a warrior. Yeah, he was a warrior, sort of. After what happened to him, he wanted to get on with it, basically. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to get on with it, and he said to me, I'm glad to be here. That's what he said. I'm glad to be here standing, and you're still cutting my hair. And then he hadn't had a lot of hair at the sides to cut.
Not burnt away, didn't it?
Nah, that's it. It was scary, it was horrible. I couldn't, because I remember him when he used to be perfect, you know what I mean, sort of normal. And then after he came in, first haircut, I think I struggled cutting your hair.
Well, you done me a beard trimming.
Yeah, I did struggle. It was very hard to cut his beard and his hair around here where he's been burnt. But now he's grown and he's looking well. It's looking very, very good, his skin. The hair started growing on it. Now I can do it, but it's still a bit of it, but it's good. It's good. Do whatever you want. You've got that big contract. So that's what happened. I advise everyone in here. You have to send me it, yeah? You just do what you feel.
Yeah, we had a chat on the phone and he kind of gave me an outline and within 5 minutes I knew this was a great story to tell. I mean, obviously it's a harrowing story, it's got many levels to it, but I knew it was a good story and would make a good book. I've written Brandon Block, the DJ, I've written his story, and Daniela Westbrook, the actress, her story. So that's about their careers and their kind of, I suppose, their experiences in the spotlight as celebrities as such. And Terry obviously wasn't a celebrity, and in fact, he's obviously had his book written and the documentary. He still doesn't want to be a celebrity. He's doing this for the right reasons and for his own, for the charity he wants to set up. Trying to evoke some emotion from Terry is a difficult thing. I don't know if he's just been through so much and he's just numb maybe from it all. I mean, even when we went back to the street, you know, he seemed to kind of just take it in his stride. But that's Terry maybe, you know. Sometimes when you've been through so much, nothing else is going to knock you down. We've had to talk about lots of difficult experiences, you know, and he's taken it all on the chin and he just gets through it.
How you doing, Greg? You good?
Long time no see.
Yeah, how are you?
Long time.
I'm here today to meet with my surgeon, Greg Williams. He done all my procedure after I was burnt and looked after me in Chelsea, Westminster. Tim, yeah, I'm going to thank him for what he done, and thank him for what he does for others, really.
And one of the things you said quite a lot to Lisa, I think, was that you wanted to give back, right from an early stage.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to give back.
Yeah.
And one of the things you said that you said might have been of benefit for you and you would like to help was going into hospitals when somebody is injured to say, look, I was in your position 8 years ago, and now I'm okay, and I've got my life back on track. But the good thing these days is with FaceTime and Skype, you could befriend, you don't actually physically have to go into hospital. You could do it on a screen, and so you could be in Wales, and if you're if you're in hospital, you might want somebody kind of your age, your background to be your befriender, and so you'd check a database, and that person may be somewhere else in the country, but they could have a conversation with you on FaceTime or Skype. So Dance Fund is looking to potentially to set that up. But what I would see is that your charity would be listed as one of the resources in the UK Adult Burn Support Network, which is just a big umbrella. So Dance Fund will actually, although it's funding it, will actually sit under the umbrella as one of the resources, and your charity could sit under the umbrella as one of the resources if it's something you're interested in, because at the end of the day what we want is to get the message out to as many people as we can to be able to access what you can offer.
What we decided to do with the charity so far, we're doing Tough Mudder on April the 30th of this month, so I've been training. So I'm going to inspire that way rather than intrusive, and I'm happy to work with you doing that, because I think that's a brilliant idea. As you know, I wanted to do that from day one. That's our direction at the minute. If I can inspire, then you can watch this documentary, read the book, see how I come through it and what I'm doing now, just to show that you're not finished. And that's what I think that's the road that I chose right now.
That's an incredibly powerful message to put out to people who are in the early stages. That this isn't, it may seem like, because I think, do you mind my being pretty frank?
Of course.
I mean, I think you went through a period that was pretty bleak, and you thought about ending it.
Yep.
And it might have been really helpful for you to have had somebody like you come and visit you then.
Unless you live it, if I'd have met another victim of burns or disfigurement at least.
Survivor, not victim.
But like down the road, then it would give me hope that I see someone sitting where I was now, where I think there's no more, I can't go any confidence, everything's gone. I didn't want to continue anymore. And obviously I had my daughter and a lot more things on top, but I couldn't see a future anymore. Yeah. So now I definitely can. Today we're here, Wendover Woods, a mile-long track assault course with half the team that's running. Everyone's here. Olivia.
Hi.
Slim. Jason. James. Rod. Amo. And one of your crew, Alexi, who's going to be joining us on Tough Mudder.
Taking it for the team, taking it for the Mellow9 team, huh?
Trust me.
Taking it for the team. Slim's come ready for paintball. He got it wrong today. Everybody else got shorts on. Everyone's ready. Jay's got his tackle out, trying to show off a little bit today. Olivia didn't wear her makeup, but she's happy. We're going to go on a mile run with some assault course. If you come over here, we're going to do the 1 to 10 assault course on the way. Little bits, little warm up. Tough Mudder's a week Saturday, so today's the pre-warm up to that. Just a few of us having a little workout. See how we get on. I don't think it's going to compare to Tough Mudder, but it's a nice little warm-up, little team bonding. See how we get on. So, that's it.
Let's roll.
Go.
Right,
what do? We need to keep up. Alright, come on. You know what I mean? My one little bit of exercise. I'm not doing that. making sure your teammates get through. Did you get to win the race? How are they doing?
Yeah, they're good, man. Everyone's ready. Some of us are fitter than others, some of us are stronger than others, but that's the whole thing about Tough Mudder. It's not about fitness, it's a team effort, innit?
Any weak links so far?
Camera crew. Yeah, ran cheap.
Almost.
So this is my diary. Training for this Tough Mudder. Just been training all weekend, feeling the pain now. Been training again today. It's like 5 days now till Tough Mudder. In pain, I'm in bits in fact. Bits at the minute about it. Everything is how it is. So it's 4 days now till Tough Mudder, I think. Yeah, 4 days now. Been training again today. Proper aching now. I'm looking forward to it, you know. I'm really looking forward to it now. Saturday comes. We'll do this every day till then, I suppose. And hopefully, all this aching stops soon. Everything's all better. But anyway, peace out. I'm off. So we're here, 3 days now till Tough Mudder. Thankful for everyone that's taking part on my team. Also showing love for the charity. I had a few thoughts on reflection. Going back to 2007, when this all happened to me and I was laying in my hospital bed in ICU. I couldn't get out of bed, couldn't function, couldn't move, couldn't walk. From there, picturing doing this, you know, even when they're trying to get me up walking again, doing my physio, learning to walk again, learning to talk again, learning to eat again like a kid. I could never have sat there then and imagined where I am here now and doing what I'm going to be doing on Saturday. People like myself or people in recovery of any sort, and you're thinking your life's finished. As long as you're always mentally strong, I think it's always mind over matter. You have to always stay strong no matter what, and don't let anything hold you back. At the end of the day, your mind's a very powerful thing. I was in some really bad places, mentally, physically, and I'm here now and I'm showing you what can be done. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be there for years after. So I had to fight a lot of stuff. It'd be great even for a test for me because my skin on my face and on my hands go blue in the cold and I'm going through ice water, being electrocuted. I will complete this because I'm doing this for you guys. My story is just another story. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping to reach out to you that's sitting there in this situation or has been in a situation and struggling. Always believe in yourself because life will knock you down. Disabilities will try and take things away from you. Mental illness will try and strip you of who you are and everything. But you have to find somewhere inside and you have to find something to focus on and fight, basically, like I did, never give up.
How you lot feeling? Good? Good? Yeah, let's do it again, Yeah? We'll have a 1 minute breather, then we'll get back at it, alright? Yeah? Yeah. You ain't done, bro. You've just begun.
So 2 days, is it? 1 day?
Well, 1 day left and then it's the actual day, innit?
Tough Mudder's a day and a half away now. What's your thoughts on it, Kev?
I'm stressed out, man.
I think we've got this.
Well, we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
It's just the ice, man. That's what I'm thinking about. I hope it's warm on that day, man.
Butterflies are setting in, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna finish this line together. That's it from us today, because we're gonna go and hit a little bit of training tonight, I think.
Blatantly not on it right now. Blatantly. Not feeling this.
But after all the planning, all the training and the anticipation, today is the day of Tough Mudder. I'm both excited and nervous. I've come so far, it's just one hurdle to go, but it's a big hurdle. I'm so proud of everyone in my team and proud of all their hard work. I'm just excited to get started now. I'm still not really sure what I'm in for, but I do know that completing Tough Mudder will represent a major step on my road to recovery. I'll be thinking about Atlanta today. She'll be my strength, my own strength fades. It's time to meet the team, all 25 of them, including Coke, Dr. J, Slim and Roddy. As soon as Jay presented the t-shirts, I saw Atlanta's name on the back of it. Suddenly it became clear to me. I'll be putting her name up in lights today, we all would. After all, her name is on the back of all of our tops. We would do it for Atlanta together, and for the Terry Dunnage Foundation.
We're about to fly through this thing. Bam, now you see me, now you don't. So I just like to say thank you all for being here. You know, I thank myself as well, you know. I want to do like one big hug, and let's do this, yeah? Yeah. Right, let's hug, let's go!
It seemed to me most people who do an event, they're not really racing, it's all about themselves. And I said, wouldn't it be great if we could create an event that was more about teamwork and camaraderie and people helping each other through the course. The fact that we get so many people doing our event who've overcome tough things, people who've lost loved ones and doing Tough Mudder to get their lives back on track, people who've overcome alcoholism, who've overcome serious burns like Terry, whose lives have been changed forever. And Tough Mudder, it's a vehicle for change for people, and I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of what we've built.
Warm-up waltz was over, time to get into the trenches. And so off we went. After lots of running, we came to our first obstacle. Slim and Gary Joseph helped us scale the high wall. And I thought to myself, Tough Mudder's easing us in gently. It was time to get muddy for the first time as we crawled under the barbed wire.
Come on, Jay!
Right now I was feeling good. More running, the weather was beautiful. On we went as we scaled another wall. Helping us again with a lift up was Gary Joseph. I immediately began to appreciate the benefit of teamwork.
Come on!
Then just as I was thinking Tough Mudder isn't tough, I was introduced to the Arctic enema. It nearly killed Slim. And as me and KKoke submerged under the ice cold water, I thought I'd died also. It was a meeting I'd never forget again. I knew for the first time today why this is called Tough Mudder. On we ran. I was frozen, my limbs began to tire. And we still had like 10 miles to go. I couldn't think like that.
Yeah, let's go.
I had to remember how far I've come, especially with my nephew Ryan beside me. I just hoped there wasn't any more water. Not yet anyway. Then came Block This Monster. Poor Tyson underestimated the jump and went head under the water.
That's all I need.
The camaraderie with the other Tough Mudder teams was evident to see as we made new friends. It's fair to say Coke wasn't impressed.
Come on!
More running, lots of running.
You as well, everyone.
And a bit more tunnelling.
You ready, boys?
And more muddy waters. And more running. Then came Everest. We had to run up the ramp and then grab onto the waiting hands of our teammates. Olivia went first and toppled first. I was relieved to see Roddy up there waiting with some of the team.
How do we go down?
Could I muster the strength in my legs to do this? Never a doubt. And as everyone celebrated, I reflected. Personal thoughts. I don't know how much of this I can do. How much more running and climbing could I do? How much more ice-cold water could my skin take? On we went, crawling, running, crawling, more bloody cold water. So thankful for the drink of water, by the time we got to the mud, I didn't care anymore. I was more than happy to be caked in it.
It's getting deeper, man.
I was nearly there, but first I had to swim on my back with fencing just above my face. I hated it. And as I got to the end, I was so happy to see Roddy's hand reach out to my hand. He literally pulled me out of the water. And it nearly was over. Except for the last hurdle, hydroshock therapy. I said to myself, I faced worse. Even though Alexi and I fell in a heap, we did it. I crossed that finishing line. I did what I set out to do. I was officially a Tough Mudder. Feeling good. The whole team's done it. It was hard. Believe you me, it's hard. I wanted to cry at times. The ice water, the Arctic enema. That took my breath. I thought I was banging trouble on that. I was looking for ambulance people when I got out because I thought I was in trouble on it. That was the worst. It was bad. It was very, very bad. It's more than what I expected, I think, to be fair. It's hard. It's harder than what I thought it was going to be. It ain't fun, man. Completed it, so I'm happy, but yeah, I'm a broken man right now. I've been broken before. I'm going to go home and repair myself like I have done in the past. I'm going to go have a Radox bath, like I said, and repair myself and lay down for a few days.
Good on you for doing it.
For completing,
sincerely.
Yeah, that's what I think it's all about, completing.
Yes.
So I'm happy that I've done it. I'm over the moon that I've done it. Really, so that's good.
Yeah. You look a bit cold. Yeah. Good for you. Congratulations
Thank you
again.
very
I mean
much.
it.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we really appreciate you coming along. I'm glad you had a good time.
No, brilliant. I appreciate
That's
what
what
you've
it's
done
all
for us
about.
as well. Thank you.
Of course. I'm glad it worked out. Cheers.
Hopefully we'll see each other again.
Yeah, we'll come back next year. Just let us know.
All right.
Yeah, I'll run with you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it'll be good. Thanks
We'll-
again.
we'll hold you to that then.
Yeah, no, you will.
All right.
You heard it now.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Terry's my world. Terry's my best friend. He's my son. If I'd lost him, I don't know if I'd be here myself.
I'm really, really proud of him. You know, everything that he's been through, you know, and just to pull through everything that he has, it's amazing. You know, he's fantastic.
What does Terry mean to me? Yeah, he's almost like a cheeky little brother, and that's why I'm happy to support, the Terry Dunnage Foundation. It's pure love, you know what I mean?
You can get a lot of positive feedback from Tel, you know, makes you deal with things a lot better.
Just being around and him being here and seeing the strength has given me so much strength myself, you know, and that's Terry. And I'm so proud of him. I couldn't ask for a better son at that point.
And he means everything. And he means everything to the whole family.
He'll always be my hero. I think he's done amazing. He's had his struggles like you wouldn't believe, but he's still coming out on top smiling.
Because he's been through what he's been through, the future is only ever going to be good for Terry. As a dad, I just want to see him happy.
What can Terry go on to achieve? It sounds a bit cliched. I believe that when people understand his story and understand the driving force behind him and the fact that he just wants to help people, you know, I think that he'll achieve a lot.
Helping others, that's what I see.
Stoner. Big up Coke, man. Say this from the heart. Do this music with a passion. Certain man I had it good and never had to ration. Flat on my face, now I'm back with some bangers. Thinking about my stack and now I rap in front of cameras. Listen, real brothers feel it. You see this feeling in a feeling that you're feeling. I lost my sight, I swear that happened for a reason. Cause if I had my sight, I probably won't be breathing. Swear down, I mean it, I'm back up on my feet now. Change my diet and it's easier to breathe now. I hope these people wanna listen when I speak now. Positive energy is something that I feed out. My mum's still on speed out. Motivation is the motive. Stay motivated cause I'm stoning. I don't really mind, I'm on my own thing. I ain't gonna lie, lonely nights help me go in.
I've been broken, it's unspoken. I spent lonely nights on my own and my heart's frozen. I felt hopeless, but I never let go, no, I never let go. I got back on my feet, I got right back on the street. I don't care what they believe, I never gave up on me, oh no. I got right back on my feet, I don't care what they believe, I never give up on me, oh no.
I rep for my strugglers, for all my youngins who mothers are customers. I know it's hard, kid, I know your heart's big. I know a hard life, I turn a child heartless. Grown to be targets, I know pain cause it happened to me. No game, shots rain, so I'm packing the heat. I'm trying to move on and look back to see, but I can't cause the feds keep harassing me. And actually, you pricks can't chat to me. A born struggler, shotting in the flats to eat. And practically, we stay poor tactically, so we can't live family. I'm on the blocks and I rep for my people. I'm on the blocks dodging cops with my people. We get dough, pop more with my people. We're all fam, forget colour, we're equal. I've been broken, it's unspoken. I spent lonely nights on my own and my heart's frozen. I felt hopeless, but I never let go, no, I never let go. I got back on my feet, I got right back on the street. I don't care what they believe, I never gave up on me, oh no. I got right back on my feet, I don't care what they believe, I never give up on me, oh no.
I've been tried and tested, now I'm accomplishing and investing. Have my little trials and tribulations, run-ins with the law, dumb and stupid cases. But now I'm trying to be a bigger man, see the vision and the plan. I'm trying to get it in the bank. I need them grands like an old people's home. And just like old people, I've been alone. In a zone, blowing loud pack to relieve my soul. Hey, and they don't know the risk that I've been taking. Fighting demons on a daily, you know I've been blazing. I'm just trying to stay away from pagans moving like Satan. They're just trying to draw me out and pitch me off. I just need a bad beat to wipe me down and do me good. I ain't never gonna change, and even if I'm papered up, I sacrifice myself. You can put me with Jesus on the cross and I'll be breaking bread with my Donnies to my dying day. This is TDF, this is MOB. We like to make inspirational music. We see the inspiration and we use it. On the road to recovery with the music.
All my life I've been struggling, I've been hustling, trying to find my own way out. I'm putting pen to pad and putting pain on tracks, trying to make every move count.